Hi everyone, and welcome to this edition of Comet Conversation. And we are joined on today's program by Russ Marty. Russ is a teacher here at Steele High School, is also our student council advisor, and also serves as our district historian. And today's program is going to focus on our Gallery of Success program. Russ, first of all, thank you so much for being here.
I appreciate the opportunity, Mr. Sayers.
Well, I know that here just a few weeks back, we had a lot of activities associated with homecoming and that week and that weekend, and it was just a lot of fun. But I know a big part of the homecoming weekend is the Gallery of Success program. But you want to talk to our viewers a little bit about that and maybe what it means and the history behind it and why we do it?
Sure. I've got to tell you, Gallery of Success is by far my favorite event. We do a lot with student council, but Gallery is just an awesome thing. They actually started it around 1986. 1987 was going to be the 100th anniversary of the Amherst schools, and they wanted to commemorate it somehow, and in doing so wanted to incorporate alumni. So what actually happened was Mr. Boynton, who was a principal at the time, would later become superintendent, and Mrs. Judy Alexander, who was our public relations and media coordinator, were in contact with Shaker Heights as they were currently implementing a program similar to Gallery. And they took a lot of their ideas and came back, and Mr. Boynton and his student council worked to come up with our own program here in Amherst. So a little over 30 years later, we're still doing it with well over 100 people in the gallery, and it's a pretty awesome thing.
It is an awesome thing, and it's just so neat to just be there that day when they're inducted and to hear the stories.
Sure.
And what it is our alumni are doing and how the Amherst education has helped them to get to where they are today. Talk a little bit more about that, and I know that you know a lot of the inductees, personally. Anything that you want to share about that, or specifically this year's inductees, any of them?
What I really think is cool, for lack of a better word about it, is the diversity of the people that are in the Gallery of Success. You know, we do have your typical successful people, surgeons, high-ranking military officers, but we also have people who are just everyday folks. Whether or not they've contributed to the welfare of others, contributed to the city of Amherst, contributed to the school district itself. It's just a really diverse group of people. And what I really found interesting about this year's inductees is almost every one of them had the theme of, I wasn't really a good student, and I really didn't have a plan. And I think that was so important for the students to hear, that I don't have to be the valedictorian or have a 4.5 GPA to be successful in life. Yeah. And I know several teachers, including myself, have actually been showing the students some of the speeches. Students who weren't able to attend the ceremony, and they're just blown away by it. So that could be me someday.
Absolutely, and that's such a great point to make. And I know that this program runs every other year, correct? And I know that we have so many alumni out there doing so many wonderful things, whether it be a graduate of class of 2010 or 2000 or 95, 82, whenever it might be. We've got a lot of very, very deserving alumni out there. Thinking ahead 2 years from now, how do folks go about nominating prospective gallery members?
Well, typically what we do is because it's every other year, we just did it in September, so we won't do it again until September-ish of 2019. But what I'll do is in the spring of that year, I will tweet out, I will email out, I will post on the website, it'll be in the News Times, just information about how you can nominate somebody. And the only requirement is you have to have graduated from the Amherst schools. Yeah. No other specific requirement. So they can submit credentials, reasons why reasons why we should choose the individual they're nominating. And our committee of student council members gets together, goes through each of the applications pretty meticulously. Yeah. We spent a lot of time this year. We had 14 nominees this year, which is the most that I've seen. And this is my third gallery that I've been in charge of taking care of. So it's a really painstaking process, and it's difficult for the students to say yes or no.
Because there are so many deserving, they're all deserving.
Right, there's not a single, we've never gotten one that said, that person hasn't done great things.
Right.
But, if we put 100 people in at a time, I think it would lose the luster of what the event is.
Absolutely. Well, in closing, I just want to say thank you, Russ, for the work that you do, not only with the Gallery of Success, but the work that you do in the classroom, the work that you do in our community as part of the historical work that you do. And we know that you bleed green and gold. And thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, Mr. Sayers.
Anything else that you'd like to share in closing?
One thing, and I'll be quick, but one thing I thought was really cool is I was going through Gallery of Success archives, and when it started in 1986, the first two people inducted into our gallery were Mr. Fred R. Powers and Miss Marion L. Steele. And I found the letter of nomination, and it was written by my grandparents. And I just think that's really, really neat. It's almost come full circle. So to have that document still, it's very special.
Absolutely. It's special in so many ways. And again, there's so much, as you and I have talked on many occasions, there's so much pride and history and tradition here in Amherst. And it's just neat to see that play out on a day in, day out basis. So again, thank you so much.
My pleasure. It's great to be here. Best district in the world. Love it.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Thanks, Mr. Sayers.
Thank you, Russ. And in closing, thanks most of all to you, our viewing audience. And as always, if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns as it relates to the Amherst schools, please feel free to give me a call at the board office. That number is 440-988-4406. Thank you so much, and go Comets.